He's like love, 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 and music. La la la, love, 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 and music. Love,
Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am Jay Lee. This is Jay Lee's Corner. This is my review for Teen Mom OG. This is season 7, episode 21. Yeah, it was a good episode, so to speak, this particular one. But if you have not done so already, please take a moment to subscribe to my channel. And it takes no time to become a whole Jaybird. Hey, Jaybirds, okay? Y'all know we are not subscribers around here. We are Jaybirds around here. So come and be a whole active Jaybird. Watch the videos, comment in the comment section, share the videos and like the video, and then do not forget to hit the notification button because it lets you know when I have new content available. I will be live on my YouTube this Friday. It will be a special live. That's all I would say. So get your questions together, be present for it, because I don't know when will be the next time I will be able to do a special live like this particular live. So yeah, anyway, live Friday, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, let's start with Macy. Macy is like Chelsea. It's real easy. It ain't that much. It's mostly about a drugged out baby daddy, and then what to do with other kids. It's real simple. It don't be much to do about it. We see how her and Taylor are talking about Jen, because we're talking about Jen coming to get Bentley, because she contacted them and said she wants to kind of get in for some time. The whole thing where they have the the PPO against Ryan, so Ryan can't be around them, but Bentley is not included in the PPO, so he can be around Bentley as long as he is supervised by someone else. So Jen and Larry can have Bentley, and Ryan can come over to see Bentley, or they can take Bentley to Ryan, but they cannot leave Bentley with Ryan. And she brings up how I'm just so worried that something could happen if he's left alone with Ryan and they know he's not supposed to be. So we see that whole thing. We then see them just talking about them getting their son's haircut, because he's a little bit older now, the hair is longer. Macy does not want to cut. Taylor like, let's cut it. It's just too much. We see that whole thing of them talking about that. Then we see she's helping Bentley with his homework, and as she's doing that, Jen gets there. So Jen comes in, and Taylor tells Macy, hey, Jen's here for Bentley. Well, tell her she needs to wait about 5 minutes because I'm helping him with his homework. Cool. It'll be a couple minutes. So she's up front kind of playing with the other two kids and whatnot. But then it's kind of like when Macy comes out with Bentley, Jen and Macy don't talk to each other, and I'm like, they usually have a good little rapport with each other, and it was awkward. You can tell it was awkward to the point to where Jen, it felt like Jen was like, oh, we're not talking. I'm just gonna turn around and walk out, and then she just kind of left out, and went back to her car. But it was awkward, y'all can't, y'all just in the same spaces not talking. I don't get how. It was weird for no damn reason. So I'm like, okay. We do see we do see Taylor's friend, the dude who cut Taylor's hair, the black dude. Hey, barber, you're cute. Okay, I like you. He comes to cut Maverick's hair, and does a good little job. Maverick looked completely different with a haircut. I feel like this: black kids and white kids sometimes look different with long or short hair. I think about Kourtney's Kardashian's son, what's his name? Rain, with that long hair, looks like a girl, looks like a sister. However, it's just weird that I feel like white children look more like females as children with long hair than black kids. It's the weirdest thing. I'm like, it's just weird. I don't know why though. It's the weirdest thing. Anyway, he gets a whole haircut and he looks cute. It's a little cutie patootie, little mohawk type thing, and he looks like a boy. Before I said, is that the son or the daughter? I couldn't tell. So he got a whole haircut. Anyway, after that, we do see him, Taylor, and Macy talk about it was awkward with Jen there earlier. It's like, yeah, it was awkward. I don't know what's going on here. And, I like how Taylor said, you know what I'm saying? We have to realize we haven't been in their shoes before. So, like, even though it's awkward for us, we have to remember Ryan is their son. The same way we don't know how it's going to feel if our kid do some dumb ass shit. How we're going to feel around people who he deal with. Like, we have not been in their shoes just yet, so that's kind of weird. And he also brings up how we're all in this weird space, in this weird situation, and it's not even our fault. It's Ryan's fault, but everyone else around him are the ones that he leaves to feel awkward as hell. Well, I feel like this because y'all ain't talking to Ryan, dumb, y'all can't talk to Jen. Like, don't be awkward. And now it's the whole thing. Kate and Tyler. Kate comes home early, and Tyler does not know she's coming home, so she's basically surprising him. So, her doctor let her come home, like, a few days early, and she brings up how she's going to have to see, well, not have to see, but she's going to see a therapist 3 times a week here. Now, we seen last week how Tyler was saying, like, she has to figure out something to do here because she can't keep leaving and just going back to treatment when things get tough. She just can't keep doing that because that's just kind of running away from the problem. So I'm happy that her saying that she's going to see a therapist 3 times a week when she's here. She also brings up how she's been diagnosed with PTSD and panic disorder. And I was like, okay. And it was funny because the producer said, for what? Like, what is your PTSD from? And then she's like, oh, like it could be from my childhood, or it can be from the adoption, either or. And I was like, okay. Anyway, so we see she gets home and she comes in like, I'm home, or honey, I'm home, or whatever she said. And then Tyler like, who is that? Nova then says, that's my mom. And he says, no, it's not. And then she then says, I'm home. And she walks in. He's like, it is you. So he's happy to see her. He was very happy to see her. Okay. We see a couple of things, her and them sitting around, her giving Nova the little iPad thing. And he said, we didn't have electronics when we grew up. Have her sitting there and look at a tree. I said, you know what? That's kind of, that's what happens. But we then see Tyler. He goes to see his therapist that he's been seeing here. And, she suggests that, with Kate being back, how about for couples counseling, so this is the way that neither one of you can feel alone, or like, the therapist has one of you guys side over the other. How about, me and you meet with her and her therapist, and that way we can all work together to make sure you're both heard. Okay, we can do that whole thing. He liked that idea. That's one. He then he said when I brought up to Kate about us doing couples counseling, she acted as if she had no idea, we had issues. She said when I said out loud, excuse me, that yeah, we need to talk to somebody, we've been having issues for a couple of years. She said, wow, really? He's like, she really has no clue the issues that we have. Like, she's oblivious to it. And he's like, that's crazy for me that she's not even aware of how bad it is. And then, he said, so that makes me realize the issue is even deeper than that, because she don't pay attention to what's going on. So she then tells him, you know what, I want you to know I do watch the show. And so I kind of want to let you know of things I saw from watching the show. And she said, I feel like I see how you carry the weight of everything and everyone in your life. And he's like, yeah. He like, she said that's not healthy. Like, a person shouldn't do that, and he shouldn't. And the thing about it is, he do. Tyler has always cared, even when Tyler was an asshole, saying how he didn't want no fat heifer, and when he was just kind of being a dick to her sometimes, he still would carry the weight of whatever was going on in their life. He's always done that. And he says, for me, I kind of been robot mode. He's like, I'm just like, does it compute? He just, it's autopilot. So, she's like, have y'all ever watched the show together? He says, no, we don't watch the show. Which is weird for me. Well, no, it's not, because I don't watch my reviews back. So I can get how you can produce something and be in something that you yourself don't watch back. I watch some of my stuff back, but not all of it. The most I watch back is my lives, and that's to see the comments from people that I missed. But for the most part, I don't watch my recorded stuff back at all, so I can get him saying, no, we don't watch the show. And she says, well, you probably should watch the show. Y'all should probably, I suggest y'all watch the show together so that you can see what people see and you can see things outside of yourself because you're watching what goes on. And I think that's the main reason why Tyler and Kate aren't aware of their issues, because they don't watch the show. They don't see what we see. And I feel like the only thing they probably see is the replay shit that they show them at the reunions, or they're speaking from a place of I lived it, so I don't have to go through it. So, but he thinks it's a good idea for them to watch the show together to get a different perspective, so that when they go to counseling, they can be more open and honest about things that have happened because they're seeing it through, each other's eyes. And I think that was smart. So he goes home. He's excited because she also gave him like a questionnaire for them both to complete separately, so that again, when they do couples counseling, they can address things, head on. So he comes in like, oh yeah, this is the paper she gave us, like, to complete on our own or whatnot. We can kind of work on things in counseling. And she's like, oh, okay. And she said it like, I don't want to do it. And he said, well, what's that? Like, you said it kind of weird. Like, what does that mean? And because I'm like, she did say it real funny. Like, it wasn't like, oh, okay, no problem. And then she's like, well, I just, I wonder what's this about. He then brings up, she also suggested that me and you sit down and we watch, we at least watch last season of the show. And she's like, why? Well, she just feels, it was her suggestion because she feels like we can see things that we did not know was going on. And then she's like, I don't want to watch that stuff. I don't want to watch. I don't have to relive that stuff. And she instantly made it about her. Even though my husband just came back from counseling because he has his own issues, and this is what his therapist suggested, and I'm going to kind of shoot down everything she suggested. I'm not comfortable with anything that she suggested. And then she's like, well, I don't want to relive that. Why should I have to relive that trauma? And why should I have to put myself through that? Does she think I'm lying to you? Do you think I'm lying to you? Does she think I don't know what you deal with? I'm like, it ain't about you. She deflected from Tyler needing these things in order for him to be better to what she doesn't want to deal with for her own trauma. And I'm like, that's the bullshit, Kate, that make people say you and him won't work out, because you're so codependent and you consistently need things for yourself. The one time your husband came home and said, hey, my therapist said, can we do this for me, to help us? And you shot down everything he wanted to do and then made it about why you don't want to do it because you don't want to relive it. But the thing is, you don't even know what you want to relive. Okay? And it's not about showing her have a miscarriage. It's not about any of that. It's about seeing what y'all went through, you leaving, and kind of what did she think I don't know how hard it was for you? But you don't, because you didn't see it. That's the thing. You don't know how hard things are sometimes until you see people go through things. And that's the point of her wanting them to watch the damn show. Kate pissed me off because in that moment, she took the focus off Tyler's healing and made it about, don't make me relive my pain and go through that and make myself depressed. And he then has to kind of placate to her not wanting to be hurt. So now he's less worried about him and more worried about her. Now he has to kind of suck in his feelings about what he wants to do and worry about her not feeling attacked or offended or depressed or whatever. And I'm like, that's the fucking problem. That's the problem right there. Bullshit. Kate pissed me off. She really did. Anyway, Amber's is pretty simple, really. You know what I'm saying? We see James a few weeks old at this point in time. Andrew was on a little trip out of town because somebody's getting married. So he's gone for a wedding. So this is like the first time Amber has been at home alone with the baby. And I said, oh shit, it's about to get real. So, we do see her saying how she wants to text Leah, to contact Leah. to ask her when she wants to come over to, kind of hang out or whatever. Oh, at Gary's house, we see Gary, we see, Leah's outside, like, playing with a friend or whatever. And in the house, Gary and Christina are talking. And she brings up how, Amber texted Leah, asking Leah, if she wants to come over. And Leah said, no, I'm busy. She's like, I'm sure that kind of hurt Amber's feelings or whatever. She's like, and I'm happy that we're better now. She's like, but, we can't, her not wanting to go has nothing to do with us, like, not wanting her to go. And then, Gary kind of brings up how, she's getting older. And, say, even though people say I could force her, but I don't want to have to force her to do it. You know what I'm saying? I think we need to get her to a point where she wants to go. I think the thing with Leah is, I think it's been this way for a while. Her mom has never made her a first priority, really. You know what I'm saying? I've said before, Amber has been a deadbeat mom for a while. And I feel like Leah is used to her mom not being consistent in her life. So now she's like 9 or 10. She really wants to hang out with her friends. And she's like, I don't want to go. I don't want to go hang out with mom. Because the time she has hung out with mom, it hasn't been fun. You know what I'm saying? So it's weird. I feel like she wants to go over there when she wants to go. And when she does not want to go, she does not want to go. But we also see Leah has a bit of a little snappy attitude. Because at one point when Gary was talking to something, they was sitting there. And she said, she was like coloring. And then she said to Gary, if you're not going to let me concentrate, then you need to go in the other room. And he said, first of all, don't get smart. Second of all, we're all in here talking, hush it up. And I like how he checked that shit real quick. But you can see she has a bit of a attitude. Got it from her mama, or whatever. So, we see that whole thing. We then get back to Amber, who her cousin Crystal was there. They tried to make Crystal, I feel like they was going to make Crystal a cast member, because they had her own, like, little storyline last season. And I'm like, I guess they put a whole kibosh on that. She isn't going to do that anymore. So, but they're talking, and she brings up how it bothers her that Leah doesn't want to come hang out anymore. And Crystal said something that made the absolute sense. She said because she's getting older, like, she wants to go hang out with her friends and have fun. Like, she's getting to that age to where if she doesn't have to come over here, she's not going to want to come unless she just wants to. And, that's how kids get when they're older. And I was like, for some kids, I guess it is. But, like, my nephew who's 12 years old, he's the same way a little bit. Like, if he has plans with his friends, he wants to do that. However, if he doesn't, he loves hanging out with a CT. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's a thin line between knowing the kid's schedule and when you can say, okay, I know they don't have nothing to do, and then they want to hang out with you. Like, my nephew loves hanging out with me. I feel like Leah does not love hanging out with Amber. Because Amber's is different. Anyway, she then brings up how for the last few weeks she's been depressed. And so it's like, I went to my doctor because I thought it may have been postpartum. They told me that it was not postpartum, and then told me to go back and talk to my therapist. My therapist then, prescribed me medication to put me back on my meds to kind of balance me out again, because she has like bipolar, this. She's been diagnosed with a few different mental health things. So because she was pregnant, she was off of those medications, and now they have to get her back on them because, again, she's getting back depressed. And she's like, so it's just kind of crazy to me that I'm feeling this way. And the cousin said, the great thing about it is you realized that you were depressed and you went and got help. That's the thing that's key, is that you knew something was wrong and you didn't just do nothing. Like, usually a person can know something's wrong and just continue to spiral until, it's a whole big thing. But you knew something was up and you went and got help immediately, and now you're, helping yourself. So Amber said, like, for me, I just feel like I just have to figure out, I have to accept the fact that I'll end up being on medication my whole life. And some people don't want to take medication for that same reason. They don't want to have to take meds forever. But sometimes when you have a mental chemical imbalance, you need it. It's the same thing as if you have a migraine headache, you go take an aspirin, okay? Every time. Just saying. Who wants to go around with a headache all day if there's medication to make that headache go away? Anyway, so we from there we see Andrew's home, and you know what I'm saying, he's telling Amber telling him how, you know, she felt depressed and did that and did this and had to go back on her meds, and how she's just, you know, accepting what's going on. And I like how he told her how, you know, he was listening to her, he was supportive, he wasn't trying to argue with her, he wasn't trying to make her see his point, he was really just being supportive of her, and even told her, you know, how about to help with your depression, to also to set small obtainable goals that you can achieve, and so that way you have some feeling of accomplishment, because it can be as simple as, I want to build a raft. If you're a raft builder, I don't know, anything. You know, I want to make a scrapbook. Okay, make a damn scrapbook. So, you know, she says, I'm happy that you are invested in me being happy. You're not, you know, just downplaying me or whatever. Like you're actually involved in me trying to, you know, get better. And it's true. It was really, really cute that he was doing that. Bristol and Dakota. I mean, we basically saw the demise of their marriage and them agreeing to that they need to separate. You know, we see Bristol talking to the producer saying how for her, she's kind of resentful that she moved away from Alaska to be with him, because she does not know anyone here. I came here, I don't have any friends, any family. It's just me, and I came here for him. And now, you know, I have no one here while I'm going through all this foolishness. She's like, you know, I feel as if she's like, I'm consistently walking around on eggshells, because I don't know how he's going to act, what he's going to do, what he needs. You know what I'm saying? She's like, me and my kids are walking on eggshells. And, you know, she brings up how, you know, we've exhausted all of our options, and, you know, it's like, I don't like my marriage. And it's difficult, okay? So they talked to Dakota, who says, you know what I'm saying, he does love Bristol, but he doesn't feel like she gives him that love back in return. Okay, that's how he feels. So it's like, when someone tells you they don't want to be there for you, or isn't strong enough to be there for you, you need to believe them, and don't try to fight to make them be what they're telling you they don't have in them to be. Okay, acknowledge that they're telling you, you need this, I can't give you this. I can't give you this. So if you stay with me, you need to know that you can't get this. You can't stay with me and hope that you can build me up to give it to you. You know what I'm saying? It's different. You know, he says, I want the home where I feel supported at home, and I don't have to go out to family and friends or whoever else to get attention and the support that I feel like I should have at home. You know what I'm saying? He's like, quitting is in my fiber. You know what I'm saying? I live on never quit. He's like, but I just want peace. And again, it's tough. It's tough. Okay? And then they both sit down and they both say to each other, you know what I'm saying, how neither of them is happy in the marriage. Like, they're not happy at all. And them not being happy isn't good for the kids. They just don't need to be together. And the reason I say it's tough is because he's a war veteran who survived. He was a lone survivor where everyone else he went over there would die. So he is a full-fledged war veteran who came home with PTSD, and now he have all these issues based on being over there fighting a war, and now he's home and he has a wife who isn't capable of loving him the way he needs to be loved. On her end, she has a husband who she wants to love, but she has no idea how to do it. So you can't want him to not have PTSD the same way you can't want her to stay with someone who has it, and she doesn't know what to do. She doesn't know what to do. So it's a thing of, you can't be mad. You can't be mad at her for not supporting him. She don't know how. She isn't equipped to do it. Some people are. Some people can handle certain things. She ain't the one to handle what he going through. And that's no shade to her. At the same thing, it's no shame to him that he went over there and came back broken. And he's been trying to put the pieces back together for like 10 years. You know what I'm saying? And I think people forget how much people of war, soldiers of war, or our heroes who go to war and come home broken, and you just hope they find someone who can help fix them. I do think there's someone who he can be with who can help him cope. It ain't her. And the reason I say that is she seems cold and standoffish. Now that could be an effect because she's been with him for this long and she can be numb to the bullshit of how she's of feeling any kind of way. But she seems cold and numb. He seems like he needs some goddamn attention, and it's a lot. It's a lot. So we know they divorced, but we saw the downfall happen. Okay, and I'm like, Jesus Christ. And last but not least, Cheyenne. Cheyenne reminds me of Janelle a little bit. Not the drug part of it, but the younger, kind of absent-minded a little bit self. So not full Janelle, like 40% Janelle. I'll say that. So she's talking about how she's in the house and she's with, I think Zachary's there. Zachary's there, so it's the sister or whoever's in there. And she's talking about how long she was in labor, how she was in labor for 28 hours, and it was so hard, and how even after she had the baby, it took him an hour to sew her up. And she's like, I just feel like the next time on my next child, I'm going to definitely have an epidural ASAP. And then she's talking and saying that, and Zach like, all I heard was next baby. And she said, yeah, when Ryder is 2, I want another baby. And he's like, oh, okay. And they're like, yeah, we talk about babies more than marriage. And they said, well, how many times do y'all talk about babies? And she says, well, like, basically every time we have sex, we talk about babies, because she's saying how she wants her kids to be close in age. So I'm like, Lord Jesus. So we then see her and Corey hanging out next. She says like Corey wants to spend as much time with Ryder, so he's taking her around. He's taking Cheyenne around so that she can run errands, that he can spend time with the baby. And of course they're in the car talking or whatever, and he brings up how he can't wait for her family barbecue, and how he's going to the family barbecue. And he says how he wants to get closer with her dad, because he's a baby daddy, so he wants to just kind of get acclimated to the men in her life. So she then brings up how her father does not know that Zach lives with her, and he's like, what? Like, how can you hide that from him or whatever? Like, that's that's just crazy. I just can't believe you're doing things. And he like, plus I don't want to slip up and say something. Like, just tell him, no, don't do it, leave it alone or whatever. I'm like, he gonna say it. At the party, Corey is talking to her dad and her stepdad, who now have a very cool co-parent relationship with her, and they both say how they love and respect each other. So Corey's saying how for him, he did not get along with his stepfather, and how his real father was in jail for all these years or whatever. He says, so for me, I don't have this example of how to co-parent. I don't have this example of how to get along with people, or whatever. It's weird for me. He's like, so, I just don't know what to do. Like, I'm going to need y'all help. You as a stepfather, and also you as her birth father, how y'all were able to make the co-parenting thing work. And so the dad then said, like, you have to remember that you are the baby daddy. Like, you are the father of the baby. And so, never feel intimidated by Zach, because at the end of the day, he's only a boyfriend. Like, you have to just be confident in your role as the father of her child. He says, we already happy that you stepped up. Just don't ever, back down from that responsibility. And then he said, for me, it's kind of hard because, with Zach living there, he's around Ryder much more. And, I'm sometimes, I feel some kind of way that he gets to spend so much time with my daughter. And when he said it, I don't think he said it in a way where, like, he was snitching. I think he was having a regular conversation, as people do. And sometimes you don't think about, he don't know the dude live there. So I don't think he did it on purpose. You know what I'm saying? As Cheyenne kind of got mad about it or whatever, because then Corey then tells Cheyenne like, "Hey, I talked to your dad or whatever for," because when he said it to the dad just said, "Oh, okay," like he didn't flip out or nothing, but Corey realized he said it after he said it. So when him and Cheyenne talk, like, well, yeah, I was talking to your dad or whatever, just kind of getting advice, for things that would not. And it slipped out that Zach lives there. And then she's like, what? I cannot believe you. I cannot believe you. So she then go and talk to her dad. He says, I didn't know Zach lived there. You didn't tell me that. Dad, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't a secret. I didn't hide it. He like, yeah, but you didn't tell me. Like, you didn't say he lives here. When you come to my house, he's always there. It's like, I know he's there because people, come over. That don't mean they live there. I don't mind if that's true. If I come to your house in the daytime and he's there, I wouldn't think nothing about it. She then said, but Dad, all his clothes is in my closet. He's like, why would I look in your closet? I'm like, at this point, she's just being stupid. Okay, you been real dumb. So she then said, well, I wasn't hiding. It wasn't a secret. But however, I also did not know how to talk to you about it. I know, I could do that. He said, you also thought that you couldn't talk to me about your pregnancy, but you did. And how did it go? She's like, you know what? It went good. I thought you would be mad, but you weren't. So as they're talking, someone, I don't know if it was her dad's wife or someone. It wasn't her mom, because she called the person by their first name. That person said, like, we have to love her unconditionally. And he said, you may love somebody unconditionally, but not me. There's conditions to my love, which then pissed Cheyenne off. What? He said, yeah, you damn right. I got some conditions. I do have some conditions or whatever, which makes her pissed off. And then she storms off. I can't believe this. I'm so upset. Yeah, fuck him. He's so fucking irritating. I hate him. I'm like, you know what? That right there is what I say. Remind me of Janelle. Someone says something that you don't like, and it's your parent, and you instantly dogging them on TV saying how you hate them and fuck them. I can't believe you said that. I don't, I don't know. Look, you can't get mad at someone and storm off and not ask them what you just say. What does that mean? Because how does she know it does not mean? Like, I will love you unconditionally as long as you don't ever try to murder me. Or as long as you don't ever, do some dumbass shit like you burn a house down. If you burn a house down, I'm gonna get mad at you. It's a thin line between a person saying something that's 100% offensive and you know how they meant it, and then someone saying something and you not asking them, what the fuck you mean you don't love me unconditionally? I would have asked, like, what you mean? What's your conditions? Like, I would have asked that before I stormed off and got pissed off like I was 12. Like, she stormed off like a kid. I'm like, you a whole ass mother with a whole ass kid. I need you to grow the fuck up, Cheyenne. Don't you come over that bullshit now, okay? I will check you every episode. Don't do it, girl. Don't do it, okay? And that's how the episode goes off. They're saying, he said that he doesn't love me unconditionally. Fuck him. I hate him. He's fucking irritating. Girl, the fuck back. Anyway, I'm done, people. Put your comments below. Let me know how you like the episode. Other than that, I'm done. Peace.
It's like love, 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 and music.